morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess and I film myself reading sometimes. Today's video is what I realistically read in a week. I am what I would class as a slow reader. I didn't used to be. As time's gone on, I have gotten slower at reading, and so unfortunately, whereas I used to do like maybe 2.5 books a week, I now read one at a push. One book every 1.5 weeks. But we're going with it. The only issue with this is that my physical TBR only grows at an exponential rate, but my read list is not growing at the same rate. But we're getting there. So this week I basically mood read. I was doing a buddy read with my good friend Megan of Phantasma, and then I also decided to read My Vampire Plus One. Now this is because if I'd have finished reading the chapters that me and Megan have said we were going to read, I wouldn't have anything else to read. And at work I have a lot of time to read. So I decided to read My Vampire Plus One for whenever I was finished Phantasma. You'll see exactly what I read a day. There are a couple days that I have missed out, but like I said, life goes on, things get busy, and I'm hoping that when I do my next video I can cover more of my reading time for you. But if you are interested in these kind of videos, please like, subscribe, comment. If you have any recommendations or you have your own thoughts on these 3 books that I've read, leave them down below. I want to talk to you about them, obviously. So without further ado, let's get on with what I realistically read in a week. As me. Yes. I'm starting this in the exact same position, in the exact same pyjamas, at the exact same time I've just finished my last video, but we are starting today what I realistically read in a week. Now it is Monday the 21st of October. We're going to finish this on Sunday the 27th of October, and we will see what I realistically read in a week. Now I'm working 5 days this week: Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. We will see what I read. I am starting this late purely because it has not been until tonight that I have picked up my book today, on Monday the 21st. I was going to show you what I'd read about 20 minutes ago, and then my Kindle malfunctioned, which you can go back to the bloopers of the last week's video and have a look. Also, if you don't know, I do bloopers at the end of every video, and if that is the only bit that you're interested in seeing, skip to the end. By all means, watch my bloopers. I find them quite funny. Can't take myself seriously. Anyway, Monday the 21st of October. We are on Phantasma. Now, me and Megan are buddy reading this. I think I'm catching up. I think I'm caught up, but I still have to read today's, and I have 15 minutes technically to read 1.5 chapters. I am 30% through the book, and I am currently on page 122. Now, let me see what I read. Oh, I've read 5 pages apparently. To be fair, I'm not surprised. I have read 5 pages today. It's Monday, I've read 5 pages. I will catch up with you probably at midnight when I've read a bit more, and I'll let you know exactly what the page count is for the day. It is officially midnight, as you can see from the top of my Kindle. It's officially midnight. I am on page 131, so I have now officially read 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pages. I've officially read 14 pages. Monday the 21st of October, 14 pages read. Hopefully tomorrow's a bit better. I'm going to read until I finish these chapters, and then I think I'm also going to pick up My Vampire Plus One. I'm currently on page 61, and I kind of want to get to 100 by the end of tomorrow night because it's a really good book and it's really cheesy and I love it. If you haven't heard of My Vampire Plus One, this is by Jenna Levine, and her first book was My Roommate a Vampire? My Roommate's a Vampire? My Vampire's a Roommate. That's not it at all. They are really good. They are your stereotypical cheesy vampire romances, but I believe they are rom-com as well. In this one, Amelia, who is an accountant, is hounded by her family about the fact that she's still single at the age of 35, and all of a sudden she has a wedding to go to, and she accidentally blurts out that she's got a boyfriend. She doesn't. Now she has to find someone. I'm not going to tell you how the vampires work into this, but it's very good so far. Also, Phantasma is getting really good. I am really quite intrigued about how this is going, where it's going, but I'm loving where it's going so far. I can't really say much, like I said, because I'm only on page 131. If I wasn't buddy reading this with Megan, I said this to her the other day, I would have absolutely flown through this by now, and I think I probably would have finished it. It's very good, and it's such an easy read. Like, my reading pace is not very fast, but with this book, I find that I am flying through the pages. So it's probably a good thing that I'm buddy reading this because I can actually take it in my own time. I haven't stopped thinking about it since when I put it down, I don't stop thinking about it, which is great. I shall speak to you maybe tomorrow. I've got a lash appointment in the morning, so I'll be listening to my audiobook of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. When I can't find an audiobook, I often just default to that because I know I love it. So I'll be listening to that, and then I've got work at 3 tomorrow, so I will probably update you before I go to work, and then after I go to work we will see. See you in the morning. not seen you, like, spoken to you since Monday. Let's go through the pages I've read. I haven't read anything today. I wish I had done, but I haven't. It's been a tough day, not feeling very good. I'm gonna go to the doctor's a little bit before work. Let's catch up. So Tuesday, I read 46 pages of My Vampire Plus One, 43 pages of Phantasma, and an entire Wish Me Luck by Ashley Poston. All in all, that is 131 pages. Quite happy with that, actually. Now, yesterday, I read 16 pages of My Vampire Plus One and 36 pages of Phantasma. That's 52 pages. Now, today, we're on 0. I plan on reading my 3 chapters of Phantasma, hopefully getting further along in My Vampire Plus One, and I think I'm gonna read the 6th book in the Improbable Meet Cute series, just because I am quite far behind on my Goodreads goals. But I am about to go to the doctor's, so I might catch you on my phone while I'm at work. We'll see. If the quality dips, I'll be at work on my phone. If not, I'll catch you after. You will have seen some clips of me reading Tuesday and Wednesday, yep, so don't worry, you didn't miss out. I'm gonna go to the doctor's and then I'm gonna go to work, so I shall speak to you when I get home. So it's Saturday morning and we are off to IKEA. We have the children, so hence the reason I'm filming in here and they're all outside. I have nearly finished My Vampire Plus One. I'm gonna sit down later and I'm going to go through all the stats from the week because I realise I really haven't been updating you, and that's because I've been at work. I know for a fact I read like 100 plus pages yesterday, then the day before was another 100, the day before that was 50, and then the day before that was 100 again. So far averaging 100. Also, I'm like 70% through Phantasma. I am struggling. Both me and Megan have said, like, we've scrapped the 3 chapters a day and we're literally just like, right, where should we read to? Okay, if you get to that point, tell me if you want to read further because I want to read further, that kind of thing. I am driving to IKEA. I'll probably talk to you on the way home. Yeah, I shall probably see you later. Again, my weeks just get so busy that I really struggle to regularly film all of what's going on, and it's really, it's annoying, but we'll see. I shall see you guys later. So, thank you so much for making it through the end of this video. Now we're doing a bit of a formal outro because Sunday was a mad one and we had the children. I didn't get to finish because I was working. So here we are doing the outro to this video. Now I was thinking let's do a little bit of a roundup recap of the week. So I have my little Monday to Friday pages I read. Let's see what I did. Now, I don't know what happened, but Monday for My Vampire Plus One is blank, and I didn't read it. I didn't write it down on my Goodreads. I started My Vampire Plus One 4 days before, so I want to say something like 20 pages. I've probably also from this popped that in the start. So if you saw that, let's say 20 pages of My Vampire Plus One, considering I only read 5 of Phantasma. So if I've only read 5 pages of Phantasma, I've probably only read 20 pages of My Vampire Plus One. So that brings the total up for Monday to 25. Tuesday, I read 46 pages of My Vampire Plus One, 43 pages of Phantasma, and 42 pages of Wish Me Luck by Ashley Poston. That is 131 pages. Now that is quite the average, I'd say, for my regular day. Wednesday, My Vampire Plus One was 16 pages. Phantasma was 36 pages, so that is a total of 52. Now this was a slow day despite the fact I had it off. I can't actually remember what I was doing this day, but I believe it was one of those like house chores, busy run errands kind of day. Thursday was My Vampire Plus One, 82 pages. Phantasma, 26 pages. That is a total of 108. Again, fairly average for me, 108 as you'll see. Friday, My Vampire Plus One, 42, Phantasma, 74, 106 pages. We're pretty much equal out throughout these days today. Saturday is where we get busy, okay? This was where me and Megan go, F it, we want to read all of Phantasma right now. So I read 22 pages of My Vampire Plus One and I read 149 pages of Phantasma. That's 171 pages. That is a good day for me, I would say. That is a fairly good day for me. And Sunday, by this point I had finished Phantasma. I will go into ratings and things in a minute. On Sunday, I read 12 pages of My Vampire Plus One, and I read The Royal Engagement by Sarah Wilson. Sarah Wilson. That is another one of the Improbable Meet Cutes novellas. I just needed to read another one because my Goodreads goal was not high enough, was not low enough. And that is a total of 72 pages on Sunday. So let's add these up. So the total pages this week I read was 665. I feel like that's good. That's not average, that's like good for me. I'd say that's a good week. Average pages a day overall, 95. I'd say that's pretty good. I'm fairly confident that that is a good week. Let's talk about what I read. My Vampire Plus One by Jenna Levine. Now, I also have read My Roommate's a Vampire, I believe it's called. This was the first book in this little interconnected standalone duology. I absolutely loved it, you know. This was classic cheesy rom-com, just like the first one. And there's really nothing more to say about that. I mean, little bit of spice, so if you're not expecting it, expect it. Little bit of spice. Wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I did really like the way they made Reginald's character just so like quirky and unique, only because in the last one, Frederick was so time period. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. Reginald has definitely grown with the time that he's been alive as a vampire, whereas Frederick is stuck in the time period that he was turned into a vampire. I absolutely adore Amelia's character. Now, she's a 35-year-old single something who is absolutely smashing her career. The whole trope of this book is fake dating, but also the whole premise of this is that Amelia does not want a boyfriend. At 35, she doesn't want one, she doesn't have time for one, she's focused on a career. We love a career-driven woman. But a family can't have it because she's 35 and she's probably lonely. Like, she can't make that decision for herself. And I just love the fact that, like, we absolutely stan a career-driven woman who has to care about a relationship. If you want that career, you go for that career. If you don't have time for a relationship, you don't have time for a relationship. It's not up to your family, it's not up to anybody else. And I love that that is portrayed in this. I also love the fact that she ends up realising that Frederick's the one for her. Can we just appreciate this gorgeous edition I got from the works? I'm not entirely sure what has happened to it, but it was like it when I bought it and I didn't realise. My Vampire Plus One, I rated, oh, I didn't even rate this. I am gonna rate this a 3.75 stars. I'm gonna rate this a 3.75 stars simply because it wasn't revolutionary. It wasn't the best romance I've ever heard in my life, but it was cute and it was cheesy and I loved it. So that is my rating for My Vampire Plus One. Next up is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith, I believe. Now, this I'm sure has been a lot of people's most anticipated reads for the past month. I didn't have any plan on reading it until Megan said to me that she was about to read it, and I thought, you know what, it's £1.99 on the Kindle store. Let's buddy read it, let's do it. Absolutely. So we read My Vampire... no, we didn't. We read Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. Now, I rated this 5 stars. Thinking back to this, honestly, I think I'm just gonna go for like a 4.75. Now, this sounds really funny. There are 2 reads that I gauge my 5 stars on, and that is Divine Rivals and Happy Place. That's my 6 stars, my only 6 stars. So I gauge my 5 stars on those, and it just doesn't come close, but it was really good. So I'm thinking 4.75. Absolutely loved the plot. Incredible. Who thinks of that stuff? That is so cool. And I couldn't be more excited to figure out what's gonna happen in the next book. I believe it's like Enchanted or something, Enchantra, out April 2025. Whoop. I'm too excited to find out what happens in Enchantra, and the only criticism I will have for Phantasma is that there is so much ghost sex. I want to know more about Gabriel. I want to know more about how on earth Blackwell swindled his way through this. Do you know what I mean? And those are not spoilers, but I will put it as a spoiler. I am just so confused at how we got from point A to point B with the treasure hunt, we'll call it, and going through the trials. I feel like sometimes the trials were skipped over a little bit, and that was really, really quite interesting for me. I would have liked a little bit more world building, if I'm brutally honest, but maybe it's going to be one of those series that it happens as it goes along, I'm not sure. Absolutely loved Genevieve's character. I think that was really quite funny. And Ophelia, strong female character, apart from the fact that she just like, drop of a hat, Blackwell was like, have sex with me, and she was like, yes, okay. Breaking strain of a Kit Kat. That's the only criticism I'll have, is that I think there was too much spice and it was just a little bit. Maybe I'm a prude. That's what I think about Phantasma. Like I said, very excited to read Enchantra, and I think that the series as a whole might be rated differently than what I'm first feeling about Phantasmic stuff. But 4.75 stars is still an incredible rating for Kaylee Smith. Never heard of her before, excited to read the rest of her books. Next up was Wish Me Luck by Ashley Poston. Now, I've never read an Ashley Poston book before, I don't think. Enjoyed it. I mean, they're novellas. What much can I say about, what more can I say about them? They are really small romance books. It tickled my fancy and I read it and I enjoy it. I think I rated it something like 2 stars. I can't see novellas being rated any more than that. It wasn't a bad book, but you can't rate a novella 5 stars after 42 pages, do you know what I mean? It was good. I will give it that. It was good. I don't know how to talk about it without giving it away because there is so much that goes on in such a short period of time. The little journey, you genuinely do go on a little bit of an emotional journey with this one, and not massively in the sense like I'm crying, I'm happy, just in the sense that like you go from not liking each other to loving each other, and it's kind of sweet. So Wish Me Luck by Ashley Poston, I believe, was 2.5 stars. Last but not least was The Royal Engagement. Now this one I really did quite enjoy. It reminded me of, what's that movie with Selena Gomez and Blair Waldorf? Monte Carlo. Reminded me of Monte Carlo. Basically she's in Rome and she decides that she and her bodyguard look alike, so she stays on, her bodyguard goes home as her, because she's a princess. So she's in Rome for a couple of days, roaming like scot-free, paparazzi don't realise it's her, she meets a guy. The rest is history. Big plot twist at the end, did quite enjoy that one. Bit odd though, because I understand that they're made up places that they are monarchs of. Felt very cheesy. It did feel very like Disney movie-esque, so I'll give it to Sarah Wilson on that one. I definitely have read another Sarah Wilson book before. I enjoyed her writing very much, flowed very quickly. That was a 72-page one, and I believe I would say it's probably about the same as Wish Me Luck, 2.5 stars. Like I said, I never really rate novellas any more than 3 stars. I feel like you can't. So that is the 4 books that I was reading this past week. Here is all of the stats for the week. I read 2 romance, 1 fantasy, and I read 1 fantasy rom-com, I believe. So I read 3 different genres. I'd say that's a very varied week. Quite enjoying that. Since then I have read a few books, and by a few I mean 1.5, but we won't go there. If you like this video or if you have any views on the books I just read, please leave a comment down below, like my video, subscribe to my channel. I think I'm on 161 now. I don't know how the heck I got here, but I am so grateful and so appreciative to everyone who tunes in. Thank you so much for being patient with me while I drop my videos down to every other week. I just need to organise my life a little bit more. We're doing job searches, you know, we're changing routine, so we'll get there. I will be back up to 1 video every week once I am a little bit ahead of the game, but we'll get there. So thanks again. See you guys in the next video.
Can I help you? You just coming for some loving.
Mum vampire. 1 minute, my dog's eating the bin. You not do this in my filming room, please? Thank you. No.
There's my puppy, everyone.
Thank you so much for